it is about time and it is coming. Trump is literally Trumpifying everything across the board when it comes to the federal government. The Federal Reserve is next. There's been a massive scandal that has come out involving Lisa Cook, a board member of the Federal Reserve, and there's been a resignation called by many people at the Federal Reserve, including Trump, who has now called for the resignation, and because one of his people has submitted a referral requesting that she be investigated for mortgage fraud. Guys, this is the thing. Letitia James, Shifty Schiff, now Lisa Cook, all these people have been accused of mortgage fraud, falsifying bank documents, property records to acquire more favorable loan terms. And what does this do? This changes everything across the board when it comes to Trump, making sure they get the interest rates low, making sure to 100% put America first at the Federal Reserve. Guys, this is massive. And not only that, because this is potentially committing a felony, guys, we could see some hard time being done by these people that have committed mortgage fraud. All these Democrats appointed by Biden, appointed by Obama, finally being caught, everybody. This is huge. And not only that, Trump is pushing hard through the Supreme Court to institute term limits like that of the President of the United States in the term of 4 years. This gives enough time to get things done, but not enough time to become a career politician and be bought off by lobbyists. Let me know your thoughts in the comments, guys. And this is just beautiful, guys. Such a big show today. Such good news, guys. We got it. It was rocky for just a little bit, but now for 2028, Elon Musk, richest man in the world, is reportedly stopping forming the New America Party and is working really closely with J.D. Vance, our now vice president. Elon Musk is reportedly going to be dropping as much money as he did with President Trump for the 2024 election, $250 million to make sure that Vance wins, to continue the MAGA movement and the draining of the swamp. Guys, let me know your thoughts. I'm telling you, like, this is big stuff today. Because if Elon Musk would have created the New America Party, it would make so much more issues. But what we need to do is just drain the swamp, get out the rhinos, and put the right people in charge to keep cleaning up the federal government. Because not only that, President Trump directed Director of National Intelligence Tulsi Gabbard to revoke 37 security clearances for former and current intelligence officials. And yes, we have the list. We're going to show you guys. This is draining the swamp. They cited that these people allegedly played a role in politicizing and manipulating intelligence related to the Russia hoax, and now they are gone. No more access, draining the swamp, making sure to be fully transparent with what is going on, guys. This is massive. New polls have come out that are showing that a majority of voters, 57%, approve of Trump's call for a new census to fairly determine the congressional representation of the United States, now that there have been over 1 million people that have been deported from the United States, and more to come. Guys, this is going to change everything, guys, because remember, over 90% of people that are illegals, they tend to vote Democrat. So now that over 1 million have self-deported and have been deported by Trump, people are more on board to get a new census, reduce the House seats for the Democrats, and have a true representation of American citizens only. Let me know your thoughts in the comments, guys, because again, I told you, this guy's going to win the Nobel Peace Prize. Around 70,000 monks have endorsed a nomination for President Trump to receive the Nobel Peace Prize. And again, guys, just more wins, one right after the other. Trump is doing things that nobody ever thought could be done. But because he has the backbone, it puts America first. Guys, let me know your thoughts in the comments. We got a big show for you today, guys. I'm so excited because, again, Elon Musk having him on our side, supporting JD Vance, 2028, baby, it is going to be huge. I want to say thank you to everybody who is watching, all of our subscribers and viewers. Thank you so much for your support. We're truly grateful that you support us every single day with watching. If you're not subscribed, please consider joining our family here at TrueLife News. We want to take care of you every day with the top news, and want to say thank you to everybody that is a member of the channel, to those that give a super chat donation. We want to give some special love to James Gourlay, Joan Smith, and guys, give some special love to those OGs in the channel. Guys, give some special love to Chris Prez, who gave 50 memberships yesterday, guys. And I just want to thank you so much, Sicilian Missy. Guys, show Sicilian Missy some love in the chat for that donation, that blessing, guys. Remember, on the 22nd of every single month, we donate this live to a local charity in just a couple of days. Guys, changing lives. Thank you so much for your support. If you don't mind doing us a huge favor of hitting that thumbs up like button. Guys, thank you so much for your support. Look, we already got fireworks going. This is, hey, big show today, guys. We're going to have some fun today. So much good news is coming. Check this out.
Trump kept calling France's president by his first name, Emmanuel. And Macron responded with a, Mr. President. He was, quote, like a schoolboy speaking to his teacher. That's how President Trump likes his allies to behave. And although the leaders were still meeting as this column went to press, he appears to have whipped them into shape.
Let's go.
The Europeans were sitting around the Resolute desk yesterday like they were waiting for class to start. Trump was giving Europe a geography lesson. He even put up the big, beautiful map and sent it home with Zelensky as homework. Now, if Zelensky can read a map like Trump can read a putt, we'll have a deal in no time. The last president to save Europe from Russian aggression was Reagan, and his portrait was staring them down in the Oval.
Let's go.
Compare that to Trump's first term, when Europe and Merkel were trying to look down on him and tell him he was wrong. Now Europe realizes he was right about everything.
Wow.
And they're the ones doing the listening. Even Obama's guys are admitting 47's in control.
Whoever had the idea to bring all these European leaders together, in addition to President Zelensky, that was a brilliant idea.
Donald Trump didn't make Europe feel too comfortable. When it was time to get down to business and call Putin, he kicked them out of the room.
Let's go.
I didn't do it in front of them. I thought that would be disrespectful to President Putin. I wouldn't do that because they have not had the warmest relations. And actually, President Putin wouldn't talk to the people from Europe. I mean, that was part of the problem.
CNN is now whining that Zelensky had to wait in the hallway.
The fact that he feels he's got to check in with Putin right away still feels like Trump needs Putin's approval in a way that's got to be very disturbing to Zelensky sitting there.
This isn't CNN's first rodeo. They should know the first time Putin and Zelensky talk should be face-to-face, not on speakerphone. And what? Trump's not supposed to call Vlad to set up the next round of talks? Who else is he going to call? Obama talked to Putin. Hillary talked to Putin. Biden even talked to Putin. How are you supposed to end the war if you don't talk to the guy who started it?
Guys, and what I love is this is everything that we're showing you is just coming to fruition, that Trump is the man. And this good news, guy, I just can't help it but show you that billionaire Elon Musk is reportedly halting plans to launch a new political party while working to maintain close ties with Vice President J.D. Vance, baby. You can't make this up. Like, again, we need Elon Musk and his support and X to help us win, because I will say he played a big part in helping Trump to win. And also, too, this stuff right here, guys, you can't make it up. This is our list that President Trump and Director of National Intelligence Tulsi Gabbard, they're cleaning out the house. They're draining the swamp. They revoked the security clearances of 37 current and former intelligence officials. Look at this, guys. Here's the list, guys. This is what I love. Accountability at its best. You played around. FAFO, guys. This is massive. If you appreciate this, if you don't mind hitting the thumbs up like button, guys, this is huge. We are winning at the next level with revoking and draining the swamp. Here's your list on the screen, guys. And want to say thank you so much, April Green, for the super chat. Let's go. Say happy 6 months to me as a True Life News member to the best channel on YouTube. Let's go. Show April Green some love in the chat, guys. And don't forget to show Sicilian Missy some love in the chat. We are winning at the next level, guys. This is huge. Listen to this.
CNN tried to get the Finns to leak another perfect phone call.
Do you know what Trump, said to Putin on the phone? I mean, what were the specifics that he put out there?
Obviously, in diplomacy, what happens in the Oval Office stays in the Oval Office when the media is not in there. I've been involved in peace mediation before, and I think that President Trump is genuinely trying to bring this war to an end.
Trump says, if you're curious, I'll tell you.
We had a very good call. And I told him that we're going to set up a meeting with President Zelensky, and you and he will meet. And then after that meeting, if everything works out, okay, I'll meet and we'll wrap it up. But it takes in this case 2 to tango. They have to have somewhat of a relationship. Otherwise, we're just wasting a lot of time. I don't want to be doing that I just want to end it.
The White House says Putin's agreed to meet Zelensky one-on-one. Could happen within the next few weeks. They're shopping around for a site. Budapest is now the front runner. But Switzerland making a last-second play, promising not to arrest the Russian leader on war crimes. How diplomatic. But Obama's right-hand woman, Susan Rice, says Trump doesn't understand the art of the deal.
Russia interfered in the 2016 election by disinformation campaigns. And rather than put this sort of pressure on Putin and Russia, he is rolling out the red carpet, doing military flyovers, giving him a ride in the presidential.
Do you hear this? These people will literally say anything to try to get on TV, guys. Doing a military flyover. Yeah, it's called showing the second, one of the, either the second or the third, China, Russia, arguably second and third. One of the other biggest nuclear powers that, guess what? What we did to knock out those nuclear powers with the B-2 bombers, we can do to you. Don't forget, look up. That's our $2 billion B-2 bomber, fighter jets. We don't play around. But when it's just like, it's so mind-blowing, guys, that I love it when they show stuff like this, because it shows how desperate the Democratic Party is. That Trump is trying to cater to Putin. Are you kidding me? Like, you can't make this stuff up, how crazy these people are.
Limousine.
Rice thought buzzing Putin with B-2s was an honor? It was a flex. And why not get to know each other in the beast? 41 flew VAD on Marine One. Took him to Kennebunkport to meet with his son. They rode up and down the Maine coast on the family's Fidelity 3. Could you imagine if Trump took Putin to Bedminster and played a round of golf? Picking up the phone isn't even close to that. Rice's commander-in-chief wrote love letters to the Ayatollah. Did that stop the Iranians from nuking up? No. Hillary gave the Russians a reset button. Did that stop the Russians from invading Ukraine?
Wow.
No. The Democrats can sit this one out. Trump's just fixing the left's mess.
From the beginning of this entire process, much of the left-wing media has been actively rooting against the President of the United States in the pursuit of peace. All weekend following those historic U.S.-Russia bilateral talks, we listened to clueless pundits on television trying but failing to claim that the president had failed. The so-called experts in the foreign policy establishment, whose record is nothing but endless wars, trillions of wasted taxpayer dollars, and dead Americans, have the nerve to try and lecture President Trump, who has solved 7 global conflicts in 7 months.
Trump stopping wars that started on Democrats' watch. Even the monks get it. Even Democrats like Stephen A. get it.
It was Biden in office when a full-fledged war against Ukraine took place. It was Russia that invaded Crimea, and that was under the Obama administration. It was Clinton in office when you made a deal that disarmed Ukraine and therefore weakened them, leaving them dependent on the United States. What I'm saying is, promises made are supposed to be promises kept.
Guys, we are just living in such a new world. Like, I love what I'm showing you right now on the screen, guys, because you can't make this up. Trump is going after everybody. Trump just demanded Federal Reserve Governor Lisa Cook, Democrat, resign after she was referred to the DOJ for mortgage fraud. Every single one of these people just happens to be involved with all this mortgage fraud when you know that they're getting paid, they're making money. And it's mind-blowing, guys. It's mind-blowing that if this happens with Jerome Powell term ending next year, we are going to see a massive shift like never before, guys, when it comes to the actual people that are running the Federal Reserve that will work with Trump to continue to elevate the economy. Look at this, guys. We bring you the facts. If the Federal Reserve gets rid of Lisa Cook, if she resigns because of this mortgage fraud allegation, there will be 5 Trump people and 2 Democrats. 71% votes. That means that Trump will be able to do whatever he needs to do with the Federal Reserve to continue growing the American economy, lowering interest rates, refinancing our debt, and continuing to win over the America to what it is supposed to be. America first, always. This is massive, guys. Trump knows what he's doing. Mr. Norby, thank you so much for the super chat, brother. Let's go. OG of the channel. Said, I'm listening these days. I'm not in the chat, my family. I'm always here and with y'all. Love all the giving, everyone. What's been doing the show support. If you can just do that. Thanks to you, Joel. Appreciate you, brother. Y'all show Mr. Norby some love in the channel, as well as proud U.S. Navy veteran for a member for 11 months. Brother, thank you for your service. MAGA showed proud U.S. Navy veterans some love in the chat, everybody. I love it because, again, we're draining the swamp, guys. Put America first.
Joe Biden's plan to win the war in Ukraine. He didn't have one. What was Biden's plan to end the war in Ukraine? He didn't have one. If Kamala won, did she have a strategy? Of course not. The Europeans just don't want to be next on Putin's menu. And that makes sense. But now that Trump made Europe foot the bill for the war, they're like, all right, let's call it a day. And after their meeting yesterday, they told Trump at the table, great talk. We'll see you in a month or 2.
Is that a month or 2? You're going to have another 40,000 people dead in a month or 2. You have to do it tonight.
Yes.
The Obama-Biden doctrine of strategic patience, a.k.a. don't change anything, just got doged. Trump doesn't have time for shenanigans. And if you look at the body count, neither does Ukraine. You can see why the president has the wind at his back. Trump's approval rating's been surging. Insider Advantage has him up 8 points since July. But Trump's not making peace for politics or for the Nobel Peace Prize, maybe just a little. He's doing it because he wants to walk through the pearly gates.
Wow.
I want to try and get to heaven if possible. I'm hearing I'm not doing well. I hear I'm really at the bottom of the totem pole. But if I can get to heaven, this will be one of the reasons.
Guys, to you, I mean, is that not crazy to hear a president say, well, why are you doing all this? I just want to make it to heaven. I want to do right things. I want to do good. I want to save people's lives. Like, does that not hit your heart, guys? If you appreciate this, if you appreciate our president, guys, if you don't mind doing us a huge favor of hitting that thumbs up like button, like that, you don't hear normal presidents talk like that. You hear normal people talk like that actually have a conscience and care about their soul and love God. Like that, to me, that's a winner even in itself. The picture that you're seeing there, the picture that's right here, that Woodbury Hill Studios, love them, literally painted for us. This picture right here, what you're seeing on the screen, I believe his life was saved for a reason, and look at how many lives he's trying to save. Thank you so much, proud U.S. Navy veteran, for the super chat. Said, best president of our lifetime. Thank you, Joel, for your hard work, giving us real news, and thanks to all the Patriots here. I love it. MAGA, show proud U.S. Navy veterans some love in the chat. Guys, it's so beautiful because even too, with this coming out, that around 70,000 monks have endorsed a nomination for President Trump to receive the Nobel Peace Prize. That's huge. He stopped the war. And now look at this. Look at them. Like, this is just so insane. This is not anybody in America. This is not any of the MAGA Republicans here in America. This is people across the world. They're saying, guess what? This guy's doing a dang good job. David Meyer, thank you so much for the super chat. He said, I don't get the option for a member. Oh, man. All right, I'll check that in for you, brother. Y'all show David some love in the chat because, again, too, guys, what we're showing you, what's coming up, it is so deep and we have to do something about it. I mean, when we see this, Trump's not playing around. Listen to this.
Shut down his government because he's in charge, and quite frankly, we control every aspect of it, right? The Supreme Court, the Senate, the House, the executive branch. Well, we're trying to. Of course, the deep state hasn't been turfed out, although Tulsi Gabbard has a start with 37 principally Grundoons. There's some non-Grundoons having their security clearances taken away. I'd like to see some bigger names on there, and I'm sure they're working on them. It's a process. We got to get to this math, though. It's not me. For instance, we sell the big, beautiful bill here in the supply side tax cut of it in a more sophisticated way, not just the Fox News talking points, in a more sophisticated way with bright people than anybody, okay? I noticed Speaker Johnson that, on the August recess that everybody had to have, you had to have the August recess, you had to do it because you had to get back to your constituents, you had to get back to your town halls. I notice a paucity of town halls, and I realize that there are, the Democrats, some of these groups, thugs are showing up and trying to shout people down, so it's not the easiest. But I haven't seen a massive effort to sell the big, beautiful bill and actually what it stands for. So we got to get to that. Part of what's happening right now also with everything going on, you have Lindsey Graham and Tom Cotton and the Mitch McConnell faction
guys, this is huge.
Trying to push through a $58 billion bailout for Ukraine. Let me be blunt.
Did you just hear that? Tom Cotton, Lindsey Graham, like these rhinos, these warmongers, these people that literally love for us to be in war in the industrial war complex. Why would you be pushing for a $58 billion bailout for Ukraine? You haven't heard any of that talk from Trump. But it's, again, they're trying to take from the taxpayers, funneling their industrial war complex to try to funnel back to, this stuff makes me so irritated, guys. This is what we're fighting against. We need to get these dang rhinos out. Let me know your thoughts in the comments.
Zelensky's plan came over his $300 billion. They're going to do $100 billion purchase of our weapons. That's a big thing in his thing. He gave the Financial Times. He leaked to the Financial Times. So that's a country that has no money. All that money comes from you because Europeans are not stepping up. They're not going to step up because why? Their voters will turf them out. Their voters are going to say, well, hang on, you're taking back my pension. You're taking back my August break. You're taking back my health care, my universal health care to pay for Ukraine. No, you can't have that. I told you it was all a farce. We had the ambassador, oh, yes, the two that are really going to be here for Article 5 are going to be the French and the British. The British are already out. They're already out. Remember, you make this commitment, you're there for years and years and years and years and years and decades and decades and decades and decades. We're still in Germany. At the end of the Second World War, we're still in Japan. At the end of the Second World War, we're still in South Korea on the armistice or truce, not a peace deal, just a ceasefire in Korea. Still there. Still there. So you're going to be in Ukraine for decades.
Wow.
You're going to be in Ukraine when the kids was crawling around the carpet, little rugrats, will be 40 years old. Yep. So you got to go in tight. Right now, if all that cursed storm over here to Article 5 and all the deep thoughts on, all the David Ignatius and Richard Haas and Admiral Stavridis, deep thoughts. It was deep thoughts over the weekend, deep thoughts on Monday, deep thoughts. Ripping on President Trump. There's no Starmer gets over, first thing he does is the British military comes out and says, I think we can help around a port. The Royal Navy can help around a port. We can't keep the Suez Canal open from the Houthis, from guys fighting from the 5th century, except they got a couple of drones. We got to have a couple of American carrier battle groups. I don't know, to, $5 million a day. We got to put 2 carrier battle groups up there to keep the Suez open, and we can give you a frigate, but we can go maybe off of Odessa, right? We can go off Odessa. We steam off Odessa, or we'll sit back, in Hungary on the border or Moldavia with some air search, and we'll help. They're not going to be there. Told you it was a joke. They're not going to be there. They want the Americans in. They want to tie us up.
Guys,
they're not prepared to.
And everything that you're seeing right now, you just saw what Lindsey Graham, Cotton, and them are trying to do. And that's why what you're about to see next is so important, guys. Because this right here, getting this dynamic duo in office again. I'm talking about Vance and Elon Musk. Because Elon Musk is considering backing Vance instead of starting a third party. I've just got word that we're going to show you in just a moment that this is breaking news, guys, that former President Barack Obama has headlined a private fundraiser with billionaires to discuss strategies to counter the GOP redistricting efforts in order to try and win back the 2026 election. You got Hillary Clinton coming out, which I'm telling you guys, they're trying to stay in the spotlight. She's predicting that the U.S. Supreme Court will do to gay marriage what they did to abortion. They will send it back to the states, which in my mind, I think that's the right way. We are the states, not the federal government. We're not run by all-inclusive federal government. We're by the states. But this right here is just showing you they're not stopping. Everything that we're seeing and what they're going to try to do, we have to keep fighting to counter all the lies, all the propaganda. Let me know your thoughts in the comments, guys, because we're going to bring you some breaking news in just a moment that I'm telling you, this is mind-blowing. The swamp is still there, and we still have to fight against these old oligarchs. If you appreciate this, guys, if you don't mind hitting the thumbs up like button, guys, we're going to bring it for you. We ain't holding back on nothing. And thank you so much, Kathy Brewer, for gifting 5 TrueLife News memberships. Let's go. If you got a free membership from Kathy, show her some love in the chat, guys. This is big. Listen to this.
Do anything. It's all happy talk. And the Brits are the best you got. Those are guys who really have fought with us. Germans already said can't do it. No troops, can't do it. The Polish guys wouldn't even come. Sobek told you that. They knew it was a farce. They said, hey, how about this? We're not going to show up. Because they realize these guys are going to try to entangle President Trump in something. So the opportunity cost of Ukraine, let's set it over there and let Marco work on it for a while, or somebody work on it for a while, and let's get back to the important stuff, which is getting affordability down, getting inflation down, getting the economy rip-roaring, because that will crush them in 26. I don't care what Gavin Newsom and these guys are skipping around. And Mom, Donnie. But we got to get in, and the $55 billion is an insult to the American people. We don't have the luxury of going around the world anymore and looking for places to stick our nose in. That's a European problem. They want to be an EU nation. They want to be a European nation. They're in Eurasia right now. God bless you. Go ahead and do it. Go ahead, but not with American money, not with American troops, not with American arms. So you have Zelensky with $100 billion that he doesn't have. Remember, he's broke. They have no money. We pay for the military, but you also pay for their government every month. You're paying for it, baby. Their pension funds, they got nice pension funds. The nurses, teachers, they got pension funds. How's your pension fund working out? Is it working out okay for you? That's good. You got that one? They're trying to, these guys are coming after Social Security all the time. The billionaires, the oligarchs, on your tiny little Social Security. How's that? Because you're underwriting Ukraine. So they got another $55 billion. It's going to be more because they're addicted to American money. So they got $100 billion of money they don't have, coming to us on arms we don't have, because we've stripped the Pacific. We've stripped everything from the Persian, the first, the total obliteration of the nuclear program of the Persians, and what we've given and what we fed into Ukraine. We don't have the weapons right now. So it's $100 billion a guy that has no money. For a country that doesn't have the weapons right now, that would be us. With a bunch of allies around who won't put up any manpower. And the Ukrainians won't put up any manpower because they're out of manpower. The parents are saying, you're not taking any more of my kids. and they're actually allowing 60-year-olds. So they're going to have the cutting edge 60-year-olds at the front lines. And folks, this ain't hunting terrorists. This is a good old-fashioned war.
Guys, I'm telling you, it is like we have never exposed so much on our channel of just showing you how much corruption, lying, cheating, taking advantage of the system. This is a Federal Reserve Governor, Lisa Cook, who has now been referred to the DOJ for mortgage fraud. This is big. Trump saw this and said she needs to resign ASAP. Like, how is it that, again, when you refer somebody to the DOJ, the Department of Justice, for to be criminally charged, it's because you got some evidence, guys. This is a big step of draining the swamp. And again, what we're about to show you next, guys, I'm telling you, they're not stopping. This literally just broke moments ago of what Obama is trying to do in order to fight Trump's red wave. They're going to bring in billionaires. They're going to try to fight with money, guys. But I believe that enough American people have enough common sense to fight against this. The Real KRO, thank you so much for the super chat. Let's go. Said no money for Zelensky, 100%. Y'all showed the Real KRO some love in the chat. Listen to this.
Former President, though, Barack Obama, headlining a fundraiser there. This happened last night, pushing back against this, Republicans' recent redistricting efforts.
The dinner and discussion benefiting the National Democratic Redistricting Committee. Correspondent John Glasgow, live in our New York newsroom with the details. John, what happened at that meeting?
Yeah, good morning. Great to be with you. This was a private event, no cameras. The headline guest, Barack Obama. The topic, how Democrats can redistrict to get an upper hand and regain control of Congress for the midterms. So the NDRC chair, Eric Holder, and former Speaker Nancy Pelosi were also reportedly on hand. The Democrats are looking to redraw congressional maps in states like Texas and Ohio to favor their parties. So the NDRC is looking to redistrict other states too. You've got Arizona, Georgia, Michigan, Minnesota, New Hampshire, Ohio, Pennsylvania, Virginia, and Wisconsin. So a lot of
guys, this is breaking news that just came out over finding out what's going on, what the Democratic Party is going to try to do. All their big blue states, they're going to try and gerrymander them just like they did in California, just like they did in New York and New Jersey, Illinois, all these places, because they're going to try to fight against what Trump and his team are trying to do. I'm telling you, this is going to go to the Supreme Court. Look at all these states, guys. This is going to be a huge fight. Let me know your thoughts in the comments.
Out there. The fundraiser comes as President Trump urged Texas Governor Greg Abbott to get the legislature to improve the number of GOP-held seats in that state. Republicans looking to add as many as 5 additional ones. So the Texas Democrats, as we have been reporting, left the state to Illinois in protest. They've since come back, but as Trump says, they don't have the cards when it comes to the votes to stop the redistricting. Former President Obama had this message for them last week. Watch.
What we all recognize is we can't let a systematic assault on democracy just happen and stand by. And so because of your actions, because of your courage, what you've seen is California responding, other states looking at what they can do to offset this mid-decade gerrymandering that is highly irregular.
Yeah, and if the race for the House is as close as it was last year, Texas seats could determine which party controls the chamber. California Governor Gavin Newsom, as Barack was pointing out, has been loudly floating options for gerrymandering in his own state, but is facing electoral and legal hurdles to do so. So, Sean, Christina, Obama hosted an event for the NDRC 2 years ago, netting $1.5 million for the group. The former president is clearly behind this redistricting push by the Democrats, but will it make a difference? The party is facing voter registration crises in red, blue, and battleground states alike, losing ground to the GOP pretty much everywhere. We'll send it back to you.
All right, John Glasgow joining us live from the news.
I'm telling you guys what's going on behind the scenes. We're showing you all this breaking news as it's happening. Rasmussen poll did a report, and the majority, look, this is from Newsmax, the majority backs Trump's call for a new census. And the only reason they state that they approve, look at this, majority of likely voters, 57%, approve of Trump's call for a new census to fairly determine congressional representation. The majority is voting because all the illegals were let in. And those illegals, 20 million plus, get counted. They were counted, and they get counted towards House seats. So when Trump is just trying to do things right and rectify what the Biden administration did of allowing an invasion into our country, now you got Obama, Nancy Pelosi. You have all these other people that are now stepping in to say, all right, let's put some money in and we're going to keep doing it with these other states. Like, guys, this is like where it's, what I love is that we're exposing what's been happening behind the scenes that's been happening for decades that nobody knew about. We just kind of lived through, but now we're putting a spotlight on it. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. America first. Thank you so much, Tijuana Border Jumper. Said anyone who doesn't adopt this mentality in Congress or government needs to GTFO straight to South Sudan. 100%, guys. Y'all show Tijuana Border Jumper some love in the chat. And again, there's like all this stuff. There's so much going on, guys. In just a couple of weeks, we're going to be heading towards a government shutdown. What's going to happen? The budget, Trump's agenda, policies. Well, we're bringing somebody on, one of our favorites, MTG, over what the heck's going on because she's in the House, and there's a lot that's going to happen, guys. Term limits, the Supreme Court. We are pushing to revolutionize America like never before under Trump's watch. Listen to this.
Wow. Yes, I went. This is the first, I called him a politician, but he was a candidate. I was like, this is the first politician that makes sense to me because he talked the way my father and my uncles and many men in my life, especially in the construction world, talked. He talked normal. And he talked about, issues that we cared about, like ending foreign wars, putting America first. And he talked about so many of the things that none of the politicians would ever dare talk about because that might not be the right way to talk.
Yep.
So he was very appealing.
Was it love at first sight? Like,
absolutely.
For a politician?
Yes, love at first sight.
So you weren't buying into any of the controversies that the media was kicking around back then. You were an early supporter.
I never bought into any of the garbage.
Well, this would be important for your future political life, to not buy into garbage being printed by the media.
We didn't buy into it. I didn't buy into it, and a lot of people I knew didn't buy into it.
But you were not yet a politician, we should point out. So you were still running a construction company. You were a business owner and businesswoman.
Raising 3 children.
Okay, so
yeah.
How old were your kids at this point?
Well, gosh, so they are 22, 25, and 27. So
they're adolescent.
Back in 2016, yeah, high school and middle school.
All right.
Yes.
And so now at some point you decide to throw your hat in the ring and actually run for Congress, which is a huge decision.
Yes.
So how do you go from not being really that political to actually running for office?
I know it sounds crazy. So 2016, I really started paying attention because of Donald Trump. And that led, and it was also the whole world of social media opening up. There was so much more information that was outside of mainstream news that was on social media that I found very interesting, and many people did. And so I really started paying attention. And it was watching the Republicans in 2017 fail on multiple fronts. Number one, they didn't fight against the Russia hoax. And it was so clear and obvious to me that it was a complete lie. And Republicans basically stood down and allowed Donald Trump just to be pummeled. And it was disgusting to me. I was like, how are they doing this? It just was so repulsive. And then it was in 2018, they passed the largest budget. I think at that time it was $1.3 trillion. It was a just bloated budget. They even funded Planned Parenthood. They did all these things that they had said they weren't going to do, and then they flat out did them. And then they did not repeal the Affordable Care Act.
Right.
And our family, that hurt us in particular because we bought our own health insurance. It wasn't given to us at some job. And when the Affordable Care Act passed, our family's health insurance went from around $800 a month to over $2,400 a month. It killed us. That was more than our mortgage payment.
Because if you had more than like a certain number of employees, you really took it. I remember my brother, who's also a business owner in Georgia, was trying to keep the employees under that number. I can't remember if it was under 50 or under 100, but he was trying not to hire even one more person so he could avoid the exorbitant increases that were coming from Obamacare.
Exactly. It was terrible.
Right. So what's that doing to the economy?
Killing us. It was killing us. And so all of those problems were supposed to be the problems that Republicans were supposed to fix.
Yep.
And at the same time, they weren't defending and protecting the president that we had elected and truly believed in his message. And I'll never forget, it was in January of 2019, watching Nancy Pelosi take the gavel and become Speaker of the House again.
Trigger.
Yeah. And I was like,
guys, I'm telling you, like the stuff that you're seeing now and what's coming right here, there is things that are shifting like never before. This is one of the biggest Democrats that is actually in the running for presidential candidate in 2028. Look what he said. This is what Stephen A. Smith said. He has done more than practically almost any administration has tried to do when it comes to ending conflicts around the world. There is a shift happening. People are getting more towards common sense. And what I love is that the true patriots are coming out. Guys, if you appreciate this, if you don't mind hitting the thumbs up like button, thank you so much for your support. What we're showing you is that as things are starting to shift, what Trump is backing now. Trump has called for the federal governor's resignation as Ally requests DOJ probe into Lisa Cook. Guys, all this stuff that we're exposing right now, like, it's all been happening. People have been cheating the system. People have been getting away with it. And it wasn't until the guy that you're seeing on the screen, stand up, literally was almost assassinated twice, that he's standing up, and this is why everybody is trying to rally around him. And this is why when you have people like Marjorie Taylor Greene who are jumping up, she's brought forth the bills to audit every dollar going to the Ukraine. She's brought forth the bills to make sure to end property taxes in the United States. These are America First policies. Tracy DeCambra, thank you so much for the super chat. Y'all show Tracy some love in the chat. Said, love your show and love this community. Thank you so much for your support and being a member. Welcome to the family. And thank you so much, Lily Ignacio, who said, this traitor, Barack Hussein Obama, and his cohorts continue to destroy this country. We need to step up our support for Trump. We are in this fight together. Let's go. Guys, the midterms, when they come next year, guys, we're gonna be so pumped up on this channel, pushing to get the rhinos out, to get the right people in, because again, what you're about to see next, guys, this is a betrayal like never before, but this is a draining of the swamp. If we don't do this and continue to do this, we will continue to live in an elitist, lobbyist-bought government in Congress that abuses the average American taxpayer. Listen to this.
National Intelligence, Tulsi Gabbard stripped 37 security clearances over a Barack Obama-ordered intelligence report of Russian interference in the 2016 election, which launched Russiagate. She announced the move on X, saying in part that the 37 who had their clearances revoked, quote, abused the public trust by politicizing, manipulating intelligence, leaking classified intelligence without authorization, and or committing intentional, egregious violations of tradecraft standards. Director of National Intelligence, Tulsi Gabbard, is here with us with more. This kind of fits in with your original declassification. And that was what you discovered was there was an original senior career intelligence assessment about possible Russian interference in 2016. And they said there was no interference. And correct me if I'm wrong. And then Obama himself reordered another assessment with top intel officials rather than listen to rank and file senior analysts that are career analysts?
So there's a slight difference here in what you're saying, Sean. First of all, thank you for having me on. It's great to see you. The intelligence community assessed in the months leading up to that November 2016 election that, yes, Russia was trying to interfere in our election by sowing discord and chaos, but stating over and over again that Russia did not appear to have any preference for one candidate over the other. They viewed both as equally bad for Russia's interest. The big shift.
Guys, I just want to say, if you appreciate this, if you don't mind hitting the thumbs up like button, thank you so much for your support. And also, she used to be a Democrat. She literally flipped to being a Republican, and look how much good she is doing. That's what I'm saying. Not everybody on the Democrat side is corrupt, and not everybody on the Republican side is good. We need MAGA first people just like this. Let me know your thoughts in the comments.
That happened around what is now commonly known as Russiagate was after the election. In early December, President Obama called a meeting of his National Security Council leadership. From that meeting, there was directive that was delivered from President Obama to then Obama's DNI, James Clapper, to then CIA Director John Brennan, to come up with a new intelligence community assessment that contradicted the ones that had been produced previously by the intelligence community. This new one said that Russia, Putin, did try to interfere in the election because he wanted Trump to win. They did this using shoddy intelligence, little pieces of intelligence gathered from places that intelligence professionals refused to reference previously because they knew it was substandard and did not meet the quality and the credibility that is expected of them as intelligence professionals. And they used the Steele dossier, knowing John Brennan knew, James Clapper knew, others within the intelligence community knew that the Steele dossier was a political manufactured document intended to be weaponized against then candidate Donald Trump. Well, Donald Trump won the election. The American people voted for Donald Trump in 2016. So these intelligence leaders, and John Brennan and James Clapper and James Comey, then director of the FBI, then used this Steele dossier as a source for this Obama-directed new intelligence assessment. Again, stating and alleging that Putin, Russia, tried to help Trump win the election. Clearly showing a preference for Donald Trump. Now, if you go to odni.gov, people who say, well, Tulsi, this is just your view or your interpretation, no. It's all in hundreds of pages of documents that I've declassified and released.
Let's go.
That show point by point exactly what happened through this timeline that showed this very dangerous thing that occurred in the creation of Russiagate, the creation of this manufactured intelligence assessment that essentially had the intent of undermining the voices and votes of the American people who elected Donald Trump. They were not happy with the outcome of that election. And so they created this politicized, weaponized piece of fake intelligence that, as you mentioned, then went on to serve as a foundation for everything that came after, the multiple investigations, the years-long Mueller investigation, 2 congressional impeachments, investigations in the raid at Mar-a-Lago. The list goes on and on. Ultimately, the real crime here was against the American people because this action singularly undermined the integrity of our democratic republic. What to speak of the fact that some of those folks and those 37 individuals that we revoked, directed the revocation of security clearances from today under the direction of President Trump, they aided and abetted in this action, this seditious conspiracy that undermined our democracy, undermined our republic, and broke that sacred trust that every one of these professionals is supposed to have from the American people.
Guys, again, that is like it's so many people are just trying to get in Trump's way, trying to stop him from doing what he's supposed to be doing, putting America first, and truly making things work and have success. Because again, too, the corrupt people, the corrupt Democrats, the corrupt Republicans, they want to have control. And everything that Trump is doing is giving more control back to we, the people. Trump puts out again another statement on Truth Social. Could somebody please inform Jerome Too Late Powell that he is hurting the housing industry very badly? People can't get a mortgage because of him. There is no inflation, and every sign is pointing to a major rate cut. Too late is a disaster. It's time and time again. And you think it stops with there, guys? I'm going to show you, because we are exposing everybody. Nita Asheti, thank you so much for the super chat. Let's go. Guys, y'all show Nita some love in the chat. Thank you so much, Nita. And Tracy DeCombro with another super chat. Said, MAGA first, we want justice, arrest, 100%, especially with what I'm about to show you next, guys, because I'm bringing in context, guys. We're bringing in layers of where all this corruption derives from, because it's always about following the money. And whenever they tried to go after conservative money, the Russiagate, all this stuff to try to take Trump out, we're finally exposing it all. Y'all show Tracy and Nita some love in the chat, everybody. Listen to this.
On the Obama and Biden administrations telling Fox News Digital that they are pressured banks to debank conservatives. They're admitting it. An experience both Eric and Donald Trump Jr. shared with us on Fox and Friends last week.
We got into crypto because we didn't have a choice, right? We were debanked by every major banking institution.
All your bank accounts for golf courses and condominium buildings and hotels, they're all gone in the middle of the night. I mean, how do you pay your taxes? How do you pay your employees? This wasn't just happening to the Trumps, people with a lot of zeros on the end. This was happening to conservatives all over the country.
Now they're taking action, but there is help on the way. Joining us now, the co-host of the Big Money Show, Brian Brenberg, is with us now. So, Brian, what they were saying last week was confirmed through anonymous sources on Fox Digital. Right. We heard this for a while.
Yeah.
So not allowing people to bank because of their political views.
So there's debanking is this idea that a bank's not going to do business with you. And there are good reasons to do that. If you're a terrible credit risk, you don't want to do business with somebody. But the problem is when it gets political, okay? And that's what Eric Trump was saying here. So here's what happens, okay? You've got debanking. Fine. It could be good. It could be bad. It depends on why you do it. The problem, let me point you to it, is this one right here. Okay, so bank regulators now for several years have said, if a client gives you reputational risk, we're going to scrutinize you. Now, the question is, what does reputational risk mean? Well, it turns out it means whatever you want it to mean. And if you're Obama or Biden, it could mean conservative causes you don't like. So flip over to the next screen, and now you've got these bank regulators, or these banking executives, okay, anonymously. And what they're saying is, look at the word here. Ambiguity, okay? So a regulator says, oh, you're in the firearms business, you're in payday lending, you're a conservative Christian. That creates a reputational risk for you, so we're gonna come down on you for that. The bank says, I don't want regulators on me, so I'm not gonna bank that person.
So here's the accusation. When there's ambiguity in the law, beauty is in the eye of the beholder. Right. And for a long time, the beholder was the Obama and Biden administration. So put yourself in the bank.
Yeah.
The banks have to go to the regulators. Regulators controlled by the government. So when you say the bank should stand up to it, not really, because not many people are going to be sympathetic to winning the PR war when you're Bank of America or you're JP Morgan Chase. You're going to go tell them, well, I'm being beat up on, so therefore suck it up, or you're going to pay a bigger political price. So they sucked it up, and the conservatives paid a bigger price.
Well, yeah, you don't want to fight your regulator because there could be a PR battle, but they can just make your life terrible, Brian. They can paper cut you all the way. So here you have, when your regulator gives you a suggestion, this executive says, it's not a suggestion. What they're saying is debank these people. And that's what the banks were doing allegedly in crypto, in firearms, you name it.
And you should roll that soundbite too, because when the president had Brian Moynihan at Bank of America, he said, hey, by the way, when he just became president, you debanked me, you debanked Melania. And he said, well, no, I didn't. Now we're finding out the governmental pressure is there.
Yes.
And I just hope it ends now. I think they took advantage of the collapse of the banking system in 2008 and then used the chance to put that hammer down. Well,
guys, I'm telling you, are we not exposing everything right now? People are fed up with what they've seen. They're fed up with things like this on the screen right here, with these elitists. This Federal Reserve Governor, Lisa Cook, has been referred to the DOJ for mortgage fraud. For all these people that are supposed to be serving we, the people, they've all been cheating the system. And this is all, we're calling this all out, guys. Irish, yes, so Tulsi Gabbard was an independent. She went from Democrat to independent in 2022, and then October 22nd, 2024, she switched from independent to Republican. So, guys, I show you. I'm bringing you all the facts, guys. Andy, thank you so much for the super chat, brother. So, Joel, my question to you is, when are they going to start to take the family out from the United States? Could you elaborate a little bit more on that, brother, so that we can talk about it? But y'all show Andy some love in the chat. This stuff that I'm showing you guys, it's literally digging so deep. This, draining the swamp, this is the entire list of the 37 current and former intelligence officials that their security clearances were revoked. When we look at these names, now, a lot of these names, do we know them? Not really, but they were involved with the Russia collusion hoax and all that. So that's why they're getting them out of there. We want to see the big names. We want to see that there are people like at the very top, like Nancy Pelosi and Obama and all these others, that those are the people that if they took advantage and if they broke the law, they need to be held accountable. But we're showing you at least everything that we're showing that we can get to right now. And right now, again, too, it's where is the Democrat Party at, guys? I just showed you earlier that Obama literally just had a fundraiser yesterday with Nancy Pelosi and a lot of others to try and fight against Trump's redistricting. The Democrats are on the wrong side of America right now, siding with the criminals, siding with illegals. Watch this. If you appreciate this, guys, if you don't mind hitting the thumbs up like button, we appreciate you so much for all your support. Listen to this.
Good point, Governor. All right, joining us now, former Michigan gubernatorial candidate Tudor Dixon and coined Vice President and former RNC Deputy Communications Director Cassie Smedley. Thank you so much for joining us here tonight. Cassie, you see these blue states just continue to be defiant. With that mariachi band out there, it's just kind of offensive to me. But they're protecting these predators. How many times do we have to say it? People get killed, raped, and other things.
Yeah, here again, you got Democrats making headlines for defending the criminals, for defending illegal aliens, for defending people who are making it harder for tax-paying U.S. citizens to go to work, get a good paycheck, to raise our families in a safe community. And I think it's so interesting. You know, Mayor Eric Adams, he's kind of walked back all that New York has spent on illegal aliens to house and the resources that it's taken away from New Yorkers. Billions of dollars that they have spent, that's going away from those who need it. In particular, those who are hit the hardest by this are low-income communities who really need the resources of their city to help them get back on their feet, and they're being failed. And here in Boston, you've got this mayor, as you said, bringing out a mariachi band, making a political show of it all. And what she is saying is, I value illegal immigrant criminals, hardened criminals, over the safety and security of Bostonians. And I hope everyone hears that as they go to the polls, whether it be in the midterms or the next presidential or whenever that woman's up for re-election.
Guys, and what she's talking about is, again, there is a deadline with these sanctuary cities to comply and start working with ICE to make sure that we clean out America from illegal citizens. Well, guess what? Progressive Boston Mayor Wu has doubled down and says she will not cooperate with ICE and plans to shield illegals from deportations. Guys, this is where I say, you know what? Bring out the handcuffs. Bring them out. Let's do something, because when you explicitly say that you are going to harbor and shield illegals from being deported, and you're a sitting official over a city like a mayor, like Boston Mayor, to me, she's got to go. Got to go. Denise Clark Custom Art, thank you so much for the super chat. Let's go. OG of the channel said, listening in, just got hacked and straightened out now. We hope that everything works out with that, Denise. Be careful, everyone. Sending some for the cause. Love to all here. OG of the channel, guys. Show Denise some love in the chat, as well as our boy George Masalis. Said term limits are essential to protecting our democracy. God bless President Trump. I love it. Show George and Denise Clark some love in the chat, everybody.
Tudor, and hat tip to David Spunt and C.B. Cotton for this. Pam Bondi, the U.S. Attorney General, sent this letter to 30 sanctuary jurisdictions and given them the deadline of today. confirm or deny, essentially, confirm you're going to cooperate with federal immigration enforcement, lay out the steps, or not. And their responses from all of these areas, Colorado, Rhode Island, Oregon, has been they claim they already work with the feds on immigration or say they have no plans to change their sanctuary policies. It's quite embarrassing. And like Rhode Island says, this generic, non-specific form letter lacks any meaningful detail and does not merit a response.
Wow.
Okay, well, your non-response is a response. What could they do with this, though?
Right here, guys, I just want to show you how many, let's have a fun game. How many of these states are normally blue? 100% of them? Like, correct me if I'm wrong, guys. Put it in the chat. Washington, Oregon, Nevada, California, Colorado, Minnesota, Illinois, New York, Connecticut, Rhode Island, Delaware, DC, Vermont. Blue, blue, blue. Well, how, like this is such a brain teaser, guys. This is like the stuff that I really appreciate that we pull through, we show you, we talk about it. It is so important that people see this. How is it that always, always, always the sanctuary states just happen to be blue?
From a federal perspective, because ultimately it's in Congress's hands, the power of the purse to deprive these jurisdictions of future money and appropriations. But federal government, as is in the administration, could do an awful lot to make life difficult for these jurisdictions.
Well, and honestly, it started with this letter because we know that in 2024, the American people came out in mass and said, we want to make sure that we get rid of illegal aliens, and especially illegal criminal aliens in our cities. We want to make sure that we have a secure border, and we want to make sure that the leaders that we elect are on board with that. So Pam Bondi, congratulations to her sending out this letter and getting these people on the record saying, we don't agree with the American people. We don't agree with the people who just voted for this, because as the Democrat approval rating continues to go down, we now have some of these people who are clearly, I mean, as you pointed out, the mariachi band, this is a political statement. The mayor of Boston wants to become some bigger political figure in the United States, and she is now on record saying, I don't care what the American people want. I think that's a huge move for the administration as we go into midterms, but there are also things that they will do to say, okay, you know what, if we have to, we're going to make sure ICE is there. We're going to make sure that the people in Boston are safe. The people in East Lansing are safe, because we are also seeing this in the state of Michigan with our capital, right outside of our capital city, East Lansing. They're saying, we're not going to take care of the people in this city. That's outrageous. It's not what the American people voted for, and it will ultimately hurt them politically, but it will also hurt them financially.
And now onto this, President Trump moving to...
Guys, and I'm telling you, the stuff they're fighting, this is why this has come back into the mix over Elon Musk saying, you know what? I really don't think it's the best idea to start another party. And he said Elon Musk cools on new party plans, aims to keep MAGA heir apparent J.D. Vance close, per the Wall Street Journal, of saying, you know what? We just need to keep Vance in there. Vance needs to be 2028. If you support that, guys, put it in the chat. Put it in the comments. Vance 2028. Because we have to continue the MAGA. Like, the 2026 midterms is going to be massive. If we lose it, Trump's getting impeached. If we can get the 2026 and get the 2028, both of those wins, I believe, and have still majority of House, Senate, and the presidency, you're talking about Trump will, I believe, be able to essentially drain most of the swamp and fully revolutionize America. And just like Mr. Norby said, brother, I've never seen them red since 1956. Those sanctuary city states, ever since they started being allowed to count the illegals and allow illegals in there, they've always been blue. It's always been that way. Let me know your thoughts in the comments, guys. This is massive what is coming to America.
scrap mail-in ballots altogether with an executive order, calling it the only way Democrats can win.
And how do Democrats react? Well, the even more ridiculousness. Former presidential candidate Andrew Yang floating the idea of voting by phone. What could go wrong there, Cassie? What could possibly go wrong by voting by phone?
Yeah, I've got family members right now who are succumbing to AI scams on the phone. So yes, there's a multitude of things that could go wrong with this, and never underestimate Democrats' ability to take things even one step further than you already think when you think they've gone as far as they can possibly go. And that right there is why I think President Trump, with his executive order, is saying all that needs to be said, to be like, listen, if we thought that everybody was a good actor and everybody was trying to do this in good faith and you can mail it in and it's just your one vote, then that's something that we can talk about. But when you have Democrats, people that are taken seriously in the Democrat Party, like Andrew Yang, with a straight face saying, let's vote by phone, then you have to have this conversation, take it to another level, frankly, because Democrats will stop at nothing to get their way, even if it is going against the will of the people.
Wow.
Tudor, final word. I'll just give Andy Yang the benefit that he was trolling. But ultimately, it is up to the states to oversee their elections.
Absolutely, but always kudos to President Trump for bringing up a situation that does get out of control. We just saw this in Michigan. We have a city councilman in Hamtramck, Michigan, that was just busted for filling the ballot boxes with absentee ballots. So we certainly do know that there's a problem. We've also had a Chinese national vote in the state of Michigan. We know that there are issues with voting, and it's never a problem to say we want to make sure that it's more secure so that your vote matters. And that's what President Trump is saying, and that's important. The American people approve of that message.
Absolutely. Tudor Dixon, Cassie Smedley, thanks so much for joining us.
Guys, again, it's like the stuff that we bring out and we show you, we hope that you appreciate it. We have to have this happen. And the Secretary of Commerce, Howard Lutnick, is already on this, that the majority of America backs Trump calling for a new census. A majority of likely voters, 57% of Trump's call for a new census to fairly determine congressional representation. You cannot tell me when we bring in 20 million illegals and then you count, even in the 2020, we now know that red districts, red states were undercounted. Blue states were overcounted. This, to me, makes the most sense. I promise you, with what they have said in calling for this new census, that with the redistricting, census with only American citizens, that we will see a 50 to 60 seat change, guys. Like that is so insane. It's been so long since we've had a red wave like that, but that's what Trump is aiming for, and also aiming for a full 2/3 majority in the Senate, so that way everything MAGA first can be passed with no Democrat help. Because the Democrats, especially next month, they're going to be fighting because next month, either the government is going to shut down or we're going to fund it. We have to pass a bill in the Senate with 60 votes. There's only 53 Republicans, which means 7 Democrats are going to have to side with us. Fetterman, he's going to side. I say that gives us another vote, but we're still going to need 6 more. That means that I promise you there's going to be pork, fat, waste, just stupid spending in this next bill, in this budget next month, and I think they're just going to pass another continuing resolution that is the exact same that what Biden was spending. So much waste, fraud, and abuse, guys. Lay Lewis, thank you so much for the super chat. Let's go. Said, all I can say is spare the rod and spoil the child to whom it may concern. Y'all show Lay some love in the chat. Everything is riding on Trump being able to get the new census, being able to redistrict, and making sure, again, common sense policies win out. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. If you don't mind, guys, if you're doing us a huge favor of hitting that thumbs up like button. We are doing our best to bring you the best show every single day. We appreciate it so much when you like our videos, share our videos. If you're not subscribed, please consider joining our family here, True Life News. We want to serve you every day with the top news. And remember, on the 22nd of every single month, we donate with your support, when it's the super chats, when it's the memberships, to local charity. And this month, it's going to be to local homeless veterans charity, guys. Chris Prez, brother, 20 True Life News gifted memberships. Let's go, brother. Growing the True Life News family. We can't thank you enough, guys. OG of the channel. Show Chris some love in the chat if you got a free membership from Chris. Tracy DeCambre, another super chat, said, I pray for California will get a red wave. Lived here my whole life. This state is in horrific condition. Show Tracy some love in the chat, guys. Show Chris some love for just helping us grow this family, growing our giving. We can't thank you enough, brother, so much. Show some love, guys, to Sicilian. I can't see the, oh my goodness, sorry guys, 1 second, I'm fixing this. There we go. Show Sicilian Missy some love in the chat. Thank you so much. April Green, our boy Tracy J, Mr. Tracy J Norby for Congress, proud U.S. Navy veteran. OG D-Dog, 10 months of membership on the channel. OG, show him some love in the chat. David Meyer, Kathy Brewer for gifting 5 True Life News memberships. The Real KRO, Tijuana Border Jumper, Tracy DeCambre, Lily Ignacio, Digging It with Dawn, Nita Achetti. Show Nita some love in the chat, everybody. Andy, our boy Andy, Denise Clark Custom Art. Thank you so much, Denise. Show Denise some love in the chat. Lay Lewis, our boy George Masalis. And again, Chris Prez with the gifted 20 True Life News memberships, guys. This is what it's all about. We are bringing the truth. We're showing you the receipts. We're having a good time. We got the best chat on YouTube, guys, and it's all because of you. We love you guys. We appreciate you from the bottom of my hearts. Me and my family are so thankful for y'all. We're here to serve you and bring you the best show every single day. We love you, appreciate you, and we'll see you in the next one. Take care. Bye-bye.